What's up guys, Ivan here with getivan.com, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys what I do to set up a scrape for media kits, which I use for link building. I have recently misplaced my media kit URL file. For some reason I'm just drawing a blank on where I put it, so I'm doing another scrape. Figured I might as well just show you guys what I do during this process, and you can use it for building backlinks at your leisure. So we're looking at my scraping server here, but let's hop on over to browser here on my main PC. This is one of these services that I use Lightning proxies at the moment for scraping URLs from Yahoo. People sometimes wonder why I choose Yahoo instead of Google. To that I just say, in terms of the arrangement of the search results, it's not really for acquiring URLs at scale because they're a lot more critical in terms of your ability to collect URLs. So there's a case study on my channel that shows differences between Bing and Google, and Bing gives better results in terms of quantity of topical URLs. Yahoo is even better than Bing, so, and I don't have a video on that, but let me jump over here. I do use Lightning proxies at the moment. At the bottom of the screen you will see my referral link for Lightning proxies at the top, and then at the bottom there's one for web share, which I'll show you in a moment. You can use whatever service you want, but basically for getting the URLs from Yahoo I use IPv6 rotators for with unlimited bandwidth. This service has gotten worse and worse and worse over time for the price. The performance is great, it's just that they keep increasing the prices, so just keep that in mind. It's probably going to change in the future, and if it gets worse and worse, I'll find a different provider. But at the moment they have 30 megabytes per second for a day at $10. That's pretty much all you need on a per use basis. It runs quickly enough that you can get what you need within less than a few hours on average, depends. So you can actually get a pretty good amount of value over a period of time from them, but most of the time you need the proxies just kind of like on demand rather than needing to have them like on tap all the time. I was also looking at this recently. I haven't tested their data center proxies, so this might actually be good for the second phase where you're pulling data from the URLs, and so keep that in mind also. I might actually test that. I'm not sure if I want to risk wasting $10, but something for you guys to keep in mind. If somebody tests this and it works well, then make sure to comment in the video below and let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and go to IPv6 unlimited, 30 megabytes per second for a day. It's $10. I've already got credit in there, so it's not going to be a problem. Let me purchase this plan with my balance. By the way, if you used Stripe here, there's a neat trick when you pay with Stripe to go to this link feature, and then link actually there's a nestled feature where you can pay with PayPal. Funny enough, which I prefer because for some reason my debit card gets rejected a lot through Stripe or the link payments, so it's better to go through PayPal. In this case, I'm just going to use my balance, so let me pay here, and then I'm going to go down here to generate proxy once it goes through, and let's see here. I'm going to go to this whitelist IP. This is the more secure way to do things. Let me come over here and open up a tab, and I'm just going to go, what is my IP? I'm going to go down to, I'm in here and add my IP to the safe list, and so then it should be good to go. But you can just copy these proxies here, but they actually, wait a second, is this the section? They may have just changed this recently. Sticky count, save as text. Let me copy these and check my notepad. Actually, it looks like they may have just changed this. Let me see. Because it was static for a minute, the list that's tapped into, so I think I actually do have to grab seconds, minutes, hours. That's odd. Yeah, I guess they did change this. Let me copy this. So then I'm going to go over to the server here, and I'm going to go up into my folder for URL proxies, paste those in, and basically you'll just need to add those from clipboard here into this section, and then go up into your connections, timeout, and other settings, and set this to, I recommend 1/4 of the quantity that you have. So it's 30 megabytes per second. The average page is a megabyte or two or something like that. So when I'm at 60, I like 14. So 1/4 of 30 is roughly 7. So I'm going to sit at 7 there. Click OK on that. Now that may not seem like a lot, but it does what you need it to do. In the permutations folder, I'm going to put media kit. For you guys, you'll have to actually run your own permutations with cities. So for example, I might take one of these city folders, 5,000, where is it? Top 5,000 cities in the United States, and I'll try to put a link to this list in the video description here. But you pretty much take a list like this, and then you come in here and media kit like this. in a file, and then you go to merge and see your red server, and it permutates. Yeah, it looks like it permutates it at the beginning. So you put the cities into the section here, and then you drop in media kits. Actually, you can put it up here since it's just one. I forgot about that. You can just put media kit up in this section, and then you'll have all those keywords with permutations: media kit, New York, blah blah blah. You do want to go a deeper quantity of search results. Let's see here, results per. So if you're running it manually like this, I use like an automator sequence. So I'm being a little green at the moment, but let me think here. If you did this at 30, it'd be 150,000 URLs, I think. Let me pull out my calculator. 5,000 with one keyword times 30 results, that's 150,000 URLs. So I like to make a good goal of like 1 million. So you could technically go to 200 results if you wanted to, but you still have to go through and do like a sweep to make sure that you're not pulling anything sloppy if you went that deep. You don't necessarily need to go that deep. It's hard to say. I'd say let's do maybe 50. It's about 5 pages deep. Yeah, that's probably fine. Like, let's just do that. So let's go 50 in this little box here. And then at that point, you'll be ready to click the button to start harvesting. Make sure that all these are unselected, and you're going to go to Yahoo there. Check off Yahoo, and then you should be able to start it, and it should be good to go. I kind of like to run things a little differently though, so you can kind of watch for a second and see that I'm going to come up here into the Automator plugin. I am going to load my Automator file. Where is it? Let's load this one, 30 deep. I'm going to go to my harvester. I'm going to go to 50. I'm going to save this as temp. Okie dokie. And exit. And I purchased my files, and I purchased my proxies, and I saved them, right? Oh, and so let me show you the data center real quick. So back here in web share, you can go to shared. I use Lightning proxies to scrape the URLs from Yahoo, and then I use data center web share proxies to scrape the permutated URLs that are resulting. Shared data center URLs. 2,500 proxies. You don't need that many. I'm on a different plan, so you would definitely only need to go down here like this, and then you would only need something like 500, maybe 100 even. Excuse me. I like to run more. If you're at 500, that means you get 125 proxies that you can run on rotation there, and it looks like that's gonna cost. Let's see. I guess I have account credits, so cost a little bit. Whatever your budget is. So your random. You don't need United States. You don't need to replace. You don't need refreshes. You do not need high concurrency. If you're just doing like a one-off, you know what I'm saying? You don't really need all that, and you don't even need them for the month, really. I doubt that they have on-demand premise here in web share, static, residential, verified. You could probably even do it like this. How much is that? That's like your 7, 12, 13. Yeah, it's a little under $15, so that's not too bad right there. You could go with that. There is a pool. I can't remember how large their pool is, but anyways, just showing you what I might do, like, and actually for the price, I might even go to, and I've never tried this before, but I would try that purchase plan here under data center, and then data center for the day. So that would cost you like $20 for the day, which you might think like, well, that's a lot. Well, if you only need to scrape every once in a while, and you want to get, you know, something that's kind of information at scale, topical, you can spend $20 for a day, and you can actually get a lot. You know, if you can get, pretty sure you can get over 1 million in less than a few hours. So in a full day, you should be able to get several million if you really stayed on top of it. Maybe did an automator sequence for that, you know. Anyways, let's go back here to the instance. All my proxies are good to go. They're set up the way they need to be set up. So I'm gonna go to my automator, run that thing, and go down to folder, click on temp, and make sure I think I got everything set up. Put in the folder, right? Yeah. Media kit. I think I set it 50. Yeah, it should be good to go. I'm always paranoid about this kind of thing. So boom, let's do that, and we just kind of see, yeah. So it's harvesting, and it returns a little bit more errors now than it used to. It probably has something to do with just like concurrency limitations. So if you set your IPv6 down to say 5, then maybe you wouldn't run into so many errors. Like it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things. You also have to remember that Scrapebox uses like 2 connections for every connection you set. So I forgot to account for that. I probably should have set it to 5 or even 4 because of that. But you can see it's harvesting rather quickly, and actually it's detecting 2,000 proxies now. So they give you a larger pool there. So that shouldn't be a big deal. It's because you have to remember there's a throughput limit of 30 megabytes per second, and so that might be where the error is procking off. But you can see already 2,000 URLs saved under just 7 threads and 1%, 2% complete. So it's happening pretty quickly. And I'll go ahead and pause, and then on the other side here, let's skip ahead to when this is finished, and then I'll show you how I do the rest of the process. Okay, let's take a look at our results here. Looks like 120,000 URLs, 126,000 have 250,000, so about half were scrubbed out. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to scrub a little bit. URLs, entries not URLs, host is an IP, and I'm also going to, let me take a look at my permutations blacklist. So let me just make sure there's nothing in here. Let me go ahead and scrub out. I don't want to scrub out .us actually. Technically let me take a look at these. You could have foreign domains in here if you wanted. There's Canada, it's not so bad. All the rest of the stuff, pardon me, probably a good idea to scrub out those. So I'm going to remove URLs containing entries from, and go to my blacklist file, and that dropped the sample a bit. Let me sort this here. I saw games a second ago, and I'll remove games, and there's a bunch of stuff in there that I don't really want, but I'm gonna go ahead and export this to number 1 for the desktop. Make sure I grab it here, and then I'm gonna go to add-ons, page scanner, and I'm gonna edit platform mask. I usually look for emails for my list scraping. In this case, I am going to, oh, it's already there, Media Kit. I'm gonna look for Media Kit, my custom footprint, and click close. Let me just double check. I'm paranoid about that too, sometimes not taking. So I'm gonna, what this is gonna do is gonna look on that page for the word Media Kit, and it'll usually be in people's footer. And so I definitely want to, actually, you know what? My automation process has me looking at a bunch of different URLs. I don't need to do that. Probably could have scraped even more URLs actually. There's a Media Kit right there. Let me copy this and let me put it over here in my temporary file. Save all those. Let me go remove, what's in my temp folder here? Oh, okay. Remove not containing kit. Okay, so only 6,000. Let me come up here into my temp file, paste those in, and actually while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and let me cancel. So I am going to remove URLs not containing media. Okay, so that's 3,000. I'm gonna paste these in here, and I'm gonna go to these, copy the full list, go back, remove duplicate. Actually, I'm gonna trim to root, and then remove duplicate URLs. Well, that's only 17,000. That's way smaller. I could have gone quite a bit larger. That's okay. We will still get value from this. Let me paste and add. So let me remove duplicates here. So that's 21,000. That significantly drops the list size. I actually need to re-export to this number 1. And technically, I still need to come in here and do a page scanner. So let's go page scanner and double check the mask to custom. Just put Media Kit there. And actually, you know what? I should also put Media Kit with a dash. That should, I'm paranoid. Let's go ahead and add Media Kit is one word. Should be all we need to do, and then load the URLs from the harvester. This is actually much smaller than I prefer it to be, so it would be even good to go 200 deep instead of 50. And you can see it's already detecting, that's in the domain, but it's still detecting Media Kit there, and so by the end of it, we'll have some places to contact to look at. So let me skip ahead to when this is finished. Okie dokie, looks like this is done. Let's head over to the server, and I'm gonna go ahead and crash this instance here in Task Manager here. Go into the folder, drag this out, and let me double check this. Drop it up here, and we're gonna go remove URLs. That's odd. It doesn't have as many URLs. That's not good, but we'll just move forward. You'll remove URLs not containing the footprint. Grab the footprint and just come back into this file. And I usually select these with a /. I don't think we need to because I think it trims it properly. Place all those. I don't think it did. I just want to see. I don't think it did. Oh yeah, no, it didn't. Okay, so there's no /. Go ahead and remove all the customs. Pardon me. Save it, and actually I should have sorted it for remove all duplicates, remove all which are not URLs, which are IPs, and then sort. And then I'm going to change this to the number 2. Export this as 2. Okay, so we have 5,000 domains which supposedly have Media Kit right there on the page. So let's take a look at some of them. All right, so here's our final list. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. So I am going to grab top view, and I'm going to head on over to just, actually, you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about grabbing the top view. I'm gonna grab the entire list, 5,000. Let's close this. Let's head on over to browser. We're gonna go to this page for open page rank. I'm gonna go ahead and open my notepad and just kind of grab down to the first 1,000. I forgot that there's a limit of 1,000. Top 1,000. Looks like there's some duplicates in here. That's all right. Go up into the browser and just grab these. So open page rank is just an easy, free way for you guys to tell what the page authority might be for any given domain. There are a lot of options for bulk checks. You can use DOM detailer. You can use, at one point I used, what is it called? At one point I used SEO Power Suite's bulk checker. But this is actually one of the easiest ways to check a variety at scale. And I've tested this against SE ranking, for example, and it's extremely accurate. The page rank is actually, in averages that I've done, it's more consistent than, I would even say all of the major metrics checkers, which might be sound surprising, but I've compared it to DR. Obviously DA is not super reliable. And the most consistent thing is looking at quantity of ranking keywords and referring domains and stuff like that to see if they're legitimate sources. You can't get access to those without special tools, and there's not really any reason to pay for that stuff. So let's sort this. See, fortune.com, all events, Chicago Sun-Times. So that would be one. So probably about 50. Let me copy this into, let's see, oh, is that the entire list? It might be. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Let's just go ahead and download this as an Excel here or a CSV. I'm gonna put this just somewhere temporary, and I'm just gonna go in here real quick and copy these down to about the 4th value, for somewhere about down about to 4. Page rank 4 is like a decent kind of link. It gets better at 5+. So that would give us 138. Let me show you guys here in the browser. About 138, and stuff like this is pretty good, like newspapers, magazines. If we were to go to another tab here, Chicago Sun-Times, and then check Media Kit right there. You know, a lot of these companies just have no clue how to set these things up. They're like, hey, we're a media company, like we do media things, we have traffic. You know, it's like the way they're set up is so strange. Like they seem to have this idea that their target market is sort of clueless. You know, like impression oriented traffic, like this stuff that they show is not very consistent. I have like one of the best links I've ever acquired is an insert in a big site where I was able to get it onto a page that had something like 40,000 impressions per month, and I was like, this is it, the golden link. And the amount I can see the amount of click-throughs that come through there, and it's like very small. It's like, I don't know, in the double digits. Like it's like tiny. I can't remember if it's 10 or it's a small number. Like it's something, like it's traffic, but for how much traffic comes across that page, it's not that much. So you're not doing this for traffic. You're doing this for link authority, you know, for backlinking purposes. But anyways, let's see. Let's scroll through and maybe we'll spot sponsored content. Advertorial content runs alongside your content of your choice, have the appearance and weight of standard editorial coverage. Yeah, so that's what we're looking for. And then the question is, I saw right here. So what you do is then you come in here and you go your email to this person and you do, you know, editorial content request inquiry, something like this. And then you say, hi, I found your media kit for editorial content, something like this, right? And wanted to know what the price and editorial requirements might be. Is it tagged sponsored? Is it permanent? Is it do follow? Etc. Sometimes I put all that stuff in there, and much of the time they will give you a lot of that stuff. Every once in a while someone is doing something sneaky and underhanded and you kind of have to do damage control, unfortunately. Thanks. So this is like an example of an email that I'll send, and these days I don't do bulk email blasts anymore. I just will send these kinds of inquiries So I might do media kit on such and such, and I'll paste the URL there, like just small variations, and then just do it a few each day or something like that for certain projects, you know. It's really simple. That's kind of how I would approach it. So if you're not following me, this is an example that we have found as being potentially viable in terms of having an offering for editorial content for a link. One thing I missed is just, we already saw from the PR standpoint that it's got some authority. Now, it is on a subdomain, Chicago Sun-Times, so I would kind of want to look and see, let's see. suntimes.com. Oh, okay, so it's the same place. Had fairly high authority, but a place I like to double check is over here on SE ranking. I got this on an LTD offer a while back, years ago, so it's nice. And the thing that's great about it is I can see the quantity of keywords it's ranking for, and then the referring domain profile. So 15,000 keywords is not too bad. And then here's the ratio. I like to see a 1 to 10 or a 1 to 30 in that range. It tends to be more organic. This is a little over 1 to 10, which indicates it's likely organic. If it's something crazy like 1,000, then it's probably not just curated, what do you call it, common data. It's probably like programmatic links, but it depends on how many total referring domains there are. That's a pretty large number of referring domains. So that's actually a fairly organic ratio for that size. For that right there, I would normally say that could be worth anywhere from $5 to maybe $150, but depending on how topical it is and just kind of what prices they're giving you. That's kind of a deeper topic. A good rule of thumb is probably like $10 for every 10,000 keywords ranking, you know, at an ideal price range. It can be more, but I would kind of say it is often not worthwhile to pay more than a few $100s for a link, because there's so many like viable linking opportunities. But the point is, like, we have gone through this process of scraping, and within a few seconds we've identified a viable opportunity through the media kit, and we just need to see what their price would be by sending them a mail. Because they have the right infrastructure, you're very likely to get a response. Unfortunately, media kit Avenue also will pull in quotes from newspapers and magazines and various blogs being overpriced for what they're really worth. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. Oh, and also, do you offer link insertions as well? That's always a good question to ask, because if you know what you're doing, how to identify those through looking at sitemaps and what have you, and you can get a rate for inserting into a ranking post, it's a very good opportunity. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to use this method. Where's my list? Oh, I think I deleted it over in the, well, let me grab it again. So let's grab this again. Let's look at one or two more, and then we'll just conclude this video. So if we hop over to the server, you can just paste in those top ones there. And with your data center proxies loaded, you can go grab meta info from harvested URL list, kind of do it in a few sweeps, and grab the title. And the title can kind of give you an idea of the sort of topical sentiment. You can also now just paste in the results. If they're not too large, you can paste the results into a session for Google Gemini 1.5, Gemini 2.0. If you don't have access to AI Studio, I recommend that you apply. It's very useful. The AIs, for all the sky falling that people are crying, like, they're actually really, really kind of hunky-dory. Like, I think about 50% of the stuff that I get back from the models is a pain and makes tons of mistakes. But Gemini is actually really good at organizing data right now. It's much better than it used to be. I did this huge thing for a few thousand states where I wanted it to drop them to the suffixes in order the other day, and I was really surprised that it seemed to do it correctly. So that was really cool. This is Gemini 2.0 Flash. There's also 1.5 Pro that works pretty well. So you could just, you know, drop that in for topicality and then have it tag it, you know, and you can just paste that into a spreadsheet. So if you wanted to do that, but I also sort of just prefer to kind of look, you can kind of tell a little bit by the name there. Some of these are a little bit abstract. Bitter Southerner, that's interesting. I would grab that, open that up in a tab there. Great stories from the South. That's kind of unusual, but it's sort sort of a blog. It's like a blog, so probably not bad to get a link from. Let's go to their media kit just to see. They have a submission, sponsored stories. Oh, okay. I don't like to be putting oh, here it is. Sponsored stories, submissions. Let's look at these. Yeah, if they tag you sponsored, it's just like a slap in the face. I don't know why companies do that. It's really dumb. But they have a rate card. Let's see. Submit your story. No. Let's look at their rate card just out of curiosity. No. Magazine, podcasts, full page print ad plus digital $2,000. Podcast sponsorship, digital ad plus social post plus newsletter. Okay, geez. Sponsored story. Okay. Homepage digital ad. Oh, okay. No. Either house or advertiser designed. Specifications, price, digitally sponsor a print magazine story, highlighted and dedicated. No. Yeah, so they probably don't sponsor editorial. They don't do editorial content. They have like a discretionary clause. Let's take a look at this domain though, just out of curiosity. See, that's not bad, but the prices they're putting out there, like $1,000, that's not even close. To push out $1,000, the site needs to have at least like 1 million keywords ranking, you know? Here's the ratio 5 to 100,000, so that's, let's see here, 10, 20, it's like a little under 30. They do have increasing rankings, but there's a little bit of fluctuation here. So that would be a good link for maybe 100, 150 bucks. Like, and if you think that's crazy, like I get these kinds of links all the time for these prices. And a lot of these sites just don't get how this side of the editorial content acquisition, they just don't get how it works. These locational magazines can be great. I've acquired some great links from local magazines over the years. So let's take a look at the media kit somewhere, often in the footer. I probably didn't mention that. Digital. See, let's just look at this website advertising. I wonder, we did a footprint check, and let me just do a page. So look at media. No? Wow, it made it through all the checks and not even on this page. Amazing. Let's take a look at this. Oh, download media kit. Yeah, so that's interesting. So they might have wait a second, event sponsorships, custom media. Yeah, they might, and that's fine. Like if you can download it, and actually sometimes you can just go over here to your search bar and you can just go Cleveland Magazine media kit, because they'll have it indexed. Yeah, look at that. So we'll just go there. Oh, they gutted it. Sneaky. Let's try advertise Cleveland Magazine. Now looks like they removed that page. That's okay. But just out of curiosity, let's take a look at the traffic here. Yeah, see, so that's better. Let's look at the referring domains. That's great. Very much an organic trajectory there, and referring domain ratio, and a solid number of keywords ranking. So that link would be worth, you know, like $100 to, you know, $300, somewhere in that range, and maybe 250 actually, 100 to 250. I get links all the time for those prices with these types of metrics, so just something to keep in mind. Anyways, that is how I scrape for media kits, and if you're interested in using, you know, proxies for this purpose, remember at the bottom of this video here, I have my links to some of those proxy services I was recommending that I just used in this video. And also, I'm probably just going to give you guys this list of URLs. So look in the description of this video, and I'll just give you this list of URLs. Who cares, you know? There you go. And then if you wanted to go deeper, you'd have to get some proxies and let it run for some more hours and maniacally laugh while they roll in. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.